Hi guys, I'm Francesca. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am so excited. We are going to be making vegan pulled pork sandwiches, but instead of using the oh so trendy jackfruit, we are going to be using artichoke hearts. And I wanted to do this because I don't know if you guys have ever had jackfruit, but I had it and it was pretty gross. I didn't like it, wasn't into it at all. And I just knew there had to be a better substitute, something else I could try. So the artichoke hearts are where it's at if you don't like jackfruit. This is really easy to make. It doesn't take that long. I think it's a really good dinner for families. I think it's a good like weeknight dinner. I think it's fun. It's healthy. It's way healthier than a regular pulled pork sandwich. And yeah, I think you guys are really gonna love it. So let me show you how to make it. Starting this off, we are going to make coleslaw. So I'm using hummus instead of vegan mayonnaise, but you can use vegan mayo if you like. I just don't really like it. So hummus was a great substitute. So we added in the hummus, some apple cider vinegar, and a few tablespoons of water and a little bit of salt. And we're just gonna mix this up all together. We want it to get it to a nice liquidy consistency, kind of like a salad dressing that's like thicker but also runny. I don't know. I added in another tablespoon of water because I just felt like I wanted it a little bit thinner, but this is the desired texture that we're going for. It's drizzly but also thick. Does that make sense? Okay, so then I'm adding in some cucumbers that I cut up into little matchsticks shapes, and I'm adding in my cabbage, of course, because that's the main ingredient in coleslaw, and we're just going to mix this together. You can make this as far in advance as you like, you know, like 5-7 hours a day. Or you can just make it like 30 minutes before like I did. It worked out really well, but just toss it, make sure everything's coated, and you're just gonna set it in the refrigerator for a little bit. So these are the artichoke hearts that I'm using. I'll link them down below. You can use any frozen artichokes that you like. This is a 9-ounce box of artichokes. I was just using the frozen over using ones in an oil or marinade. So I let these thaw out, or you can just microwave them for a little bit. And these are our artichoke hearts. This is why I thought they'd be good. They have like a nice meaty look to them. They have the layers. I just figured these would be a nice substitute. So I'm just gonna take my knife and slice them up a few times. You can see it gets like stringy and a little bit, I don't know. I really think it's a good substitute for meat, and it resembles the jackfruit really, if you think about it. So you're just gonna cut them all up. It only takes a few minutes to do this, and just kind of shred them up. It's gonna look like a shredded artichoke heart, but kind of like a shredded meat, you know? So these are them all shredded up. I think it looks pretty good. So then I'm just gonna take a paper towel and squeeze out some of the water, because these were frozen. They have a lot of water in them, and you really gotta get that out. Otherwise it's gonna like make it like watery later, which is not what we want. So just squeeze it out with a paper towel or just a regular towel. Then in my cast iron skillet, I'm adding a half a teaspoon of oil, just a tiny little bit, not a lot. And we're gonna dump in our artichoke hearts. And then I'm gonna kind of move them around with a spatula, get them a little coated in the oil. And then we're gonna let this cook on a medium heat, like medium low, you know, not too high. And we're just gonna pat down the artichoke hearts, get them kind of all laid out flat. And this is gonna help to draw out more of the water, just help them to cook a little bit. Some of them even got a little bit crispy from this. And you're just gonna let this cook for like 10 minutes, not too long. Then I just gave them another toss around, and now we're gonna add the barbecue sauce. So I used a barbecue sauce from Trader Joe's. I'll link a few vegan-friendly barbecue sauces down below and on the blog post for you to check out. You want the pan to be not too hot, because as you can see, this is gonna start bubbling up right away, and the sugars will burn, which we don't want, because then it doesn't taste good. So keep the heat kind of low, so that way nothing like burns the second you put it in the pan. And then I'm just gonna take my spatula again and spread this out into that flat layer. The reason I'm doing this is because, oh, and I also added a little more barbecue sauce. I forgot I did that. I felt like there wasn't enough. I wanted it to be really barbecue-y, because obviously we need to mask the flavor of the artichokes a bit. But the reason I like to flatten it out in the bottom of the pan is because I just think it helps to caramelize everything. It kind of gets the sugars going a little bit, gets everything a little nice and crispy. And you're gonna leave this to cook. Low and slow is the name of the game here. At least 15 to 20 minutes. You can do it for more. And this is the color when it's kind of all done cooking. You can see it's really changed. It's darkened up. The artichokes are really covered in it. It even got like nice and crispy and caramelized around the edges on the bottom. This is exactly what we're going for.
So now we can make our sandwich. I got some nice soft ciabatta rolls from, of course, Trader Joe's, my favorite. And oh my gosh, do you see this? Do you see this right now? Okay, I haven't had pulled pork in a long time, but I think this looks a lot like pulled pork and tastes way better than jackfruit in my opinion. And then we just put on our coleslaw, which I really liked it with the hummus, not the vegan mayo. I suggest you try it that way. All the flavors just work so well together on the sandwich. And then I added a few pickles, and there are just so many layers of flavors here. So good. Put our top on, and then I stuck a little skewer in there. If you're giving this to guests, just warn them that there's a toothpick in the middle of it. And that's it. Really, really easy to make, really delicious. How good does this look? Doesn't this look like meat? Go and make it. Thank me, and just make it and love me and thank me because it's amazing. Oh, look at that. Aren't you jealous of that bite?
All right, guys, and that was our recipe. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought. Do you want to try this pulled pork version? Do you think this is less intimidating than the jackfruit version of pulled pork? I personally think it is. I think if you're going to serve this to people, artichoke heart sounds way less intimidating than jackfruit. Probably something they've never heard of, probably something they've never tried, and something they kind of might be a little bit turned off by. But I think artichoke hearts, everybody knows pretty much what an artichoke is, right? So yeah, I really hope you guys would try this one out because I really enjoyed making it and it was really delicious. If you do try it out, be sure to tag me on Instagram. I love to see your recreations. I always share them on my Instagram stories. It's so much fun for me. If you like the video, then you already know. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it with friends. It really helps the channel to grow. I'm working really hard to give you guys the best content, and I'm trying real hard to get this channel to grow a little bit more. So if you like it, then make sure to subscribe. And as always, the full recipes are down below in the description box and on my blog. So you can find them in 2 spots, wherever you like it, whatever works easiest for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!